The global chocolate industry is confronted with an existential crisis as future generations of cocoa farmers in West Africa abandon the farms in search of better livelihoods, and crop yields continue to fall year after year. Decades of economic marginalization has left these farming communities blanketed in poverty, illiteracy, inadequate infrastructure, and grappling with some of the most extreme forms of child labor, according to the International Labor Organization. Decades of attempts by key chocolate industry actors to reverse this worrisome trend of declining crop yields and steady attrition in the number of cocoa farmers have so far failed. This failure is attributable to these programs' collective failure to effectively build community capacity, eradicate poverty, and demonstrably increase the wealth of cocoa farmers and their households. Premium chocolate manufacturing presents an exciting opportunity to reverse this troubling trend. Premium cocoa beans currently represents less than 5% of global supply. Steady consumption has risen by over 20% over the last decade, led by Switzerland, Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Increased consumption in emerging markets is led by Russia, Turkey, Brazil, Mexico, Indonesia, China, and India. Through vertical integration, cocoa farming communities are able to generate significant and sustainable funding for community initiatives through ownership of locally operated micro-factory complexes producing premium single-estate chocolate for domestic and international consumption, while cocoa farmers earn a living household income and lift themselves out of poverty by shifting their activities from the bottom to the top of the cocoa value chain. One of the pioneers of vertical integrated cocoa farming are Eric and Chris Reed, owners of SPAGnVOLA.
I come from a very unique perspective in the business world. My wife and I were farmers. That's where we started. I have a background in IT, but we had a passion in farming. And from that, we decided to start a business being vertically integrated because we really saw that at the farmer's level, there was really not a lot of equitable share when it comes to a finished product in the industry. One of the things that we hold very dear in our heart is adding farmers and giving them a greater equitable share in this industry.
United Aid for Africa has been active in West African cocoa farming communities since our inception in 2010. Our primary area of focus for the last 6 years has been the internal transformation of our communities to solve our own problems rather than relying on outsiders. We're committed to ending the cycle of charity and dependency that has become the holy grail in most poverty alleviation programs. UAA's recently established partnership with Dr. Richard Ford strengthens our community capacity building expertise. Richard comes with 40 years of experience in rural African land use and management. His work has focused on integrating traditional practices into contemporary policy and decision making. Our partnership with Richard gives us a very powerful set of tools to resolve local conflicts and to energize the knowledge and the resources of our communities.
To mobilize what you already have, to do just as you did with water, to attract additional outside assistance to match what you provided from the inside.
So a sustainable model is not one in which you keep the farmer at farm gate, okay? Because that's a model that just sustains the farmer, doesn't enrich the farmer. Our model of sustainability is literally transforming that farmer into premium chocolate makers, okay? Here's the analogy. You go to Napa Valley, California, and you go and you visit some of those wine vineyards. The same people that own the vineyards make the wine, okay? So just pay close attention to this. So if you were to take, if you look at Ondo State of Nigeria, Ondo State of Nigeria produces 1% of the world's supply of cocoa, 1%. So if they sell their cocoa beans and export it, they make $500,000 every year, but the farmer barely sees that, okay? Because you have a lot of middlemen in between and exporters and everything else. If they take that exact same cocoa and they build industries within Ondo State, that half of that $500 million becomes $2.1 billion, okay? So today, Nigeria is exporting cash, jobs, and wealth. By transforming the industry, they now educate their farmers into becoming chocolate makers, chocolatiers. Instead of going to Belgium and getting the best chocolates in the world, you get to come to Nigeria and get the best chocolates in the world. And here's a funny thing. So, within 10 years, instead of referring to West Africa as 75% of the world producer in cocoa, they should be 75% of the world premium chocolate makers, okay?
Cocoa value chain transformation is the story of people, the story of planning, the story of self-help, the story of partnership, the story of building consensus and working together as a community.
What our expertise has shown us is that when our communities are able to organize what we already know, mobilize resources that we already have, and come to a consensus around action plans that are focused on development, what results is a very profitable and a sustainable model for public-private partnership.